After the SAT, I come across a post online. Someone posts, if you could make a choice all over again, which major would you choose this time? The comments are filled with people wishing they had chosen a different major. They all have their own regrets. One response stands out from the rest. I would choose literature. That way, he and I wouldn't have missed out on the 4 years we should have spent together because of that unwanted baggage. I chuckle and am about to scroll past when I suddenly notice the profile picture and username. They are identical to those of my childhood sweetheart, Winter Anderson. I click into the profile. Everything matches her current account exactly, except that the age is 10 years older. My heart sinks to my stomach. This has to be her 10 years in the future. No wonder I am the only one celebrating when we are admitted to the same major. No wonder she zones out for so long after seeing my best friend, Simon Brown, receive his acceptance letter from the literature department. It turns out I am the unwanted baggage responsible for so many of her regrets and disappointments. Since that is the case, I quietly press accept on the admission offer written entirely in a foreign language. I shall end this mistake 10 years ahead of schedule. Chapter Gregory's POV. You mentioned having unwanted baggage. Who are you talking about? In front of the screen, I took a deep breath and typed my question for Winter Anderson. Within seconds, her reply popped up. He was someone I grew up with. Well, technically, he's also my benefactor. His parents died saving me years ago. To repay that debt, my parents took him in and raised him. Had been taking advantage of my family's guilt ever since. He followed me around every day, to the point that everyone thought he was a future husband my family had been raising for me. The truth was, I never wanted a burden like him in the first place. I blinked. A dull ache throbbed in my chest as I thought of Mom and Dad. Frozen forever in old photographs. During a landslide years ago, Dad had shoved Winter out of the way and was crushed to death by a falling boulder. Mom had used every ounce of her strength to push Winter to safety. In the end, she was swallowed by the collapsing earth. Winter had once told me that from that day on, I would become part of the Anderson family. She would stay by my side for the rest of our lives, treating me like an older brother. In the end, it turned out I was nothing more than an annoying burden who used a life-saving debt to cling to her. I hate emotional blackmail more than anything. Congrats, OP, on finally escaping that nightmare. Forget the depressing stuff. We want the juicy romance. Tell us how you and your true love got together. Replies kept pouring in. After a long silence, Winter posted 2 short responses. It was simple. When that man and I were about to get engaged, I came clean. I told him that I'd already slept with the person I truly loved. My fingers began trembling uncontrollably. Wow, that's some main character energy right there. So, did the leech just give up? He didn't make a scene or anything. Oh, he did, Winter replied, but it didn't matter. I had leverage over him. The company he worked for belonged to my uncle. His grandma was critically ill and needed one final surgery. She was waiting on the last payment, and I withheld his bonus. In the end, he had no choice but to let me go. Something inside me snapped. Even breathing became difficult. How could this be? How could Winter use the only family I had left against me then? How far have you and your current partner gotten? Another asked. Have you both settled down? Within seconds, a photo appeared in the thread. In the photo, 2 hands were clasped together, fingers intertwined. Matching bands gleamed on their ring fingers. My heart sank instantly. The mole on that man's hand was identical to Simon Brown's. That sapphire bracelet on his wrist was the very one I was wearing right now. The Anderson family had given Winter and me that pair years ago. They said it was a family heirloom passed down through generations, something that would keep its wearer safe. Well, each wear one. That way, we'll never be separated for the rest of our lives. That was the promise Winter had made while holding my hand all those years ago. Who would have thought she gave that forever to someone else? I gritted my teeth and buried the dull ache spreading through my chest. Then, I sent the account a private message. Hello, I'm currently